There are some people out there who call her the Judge Judy of Buffalo.
Penny Wolfgang has presided over some of the biggest cases to ever come through state Supreme Court. But the same law she worked so hard to uphold has also forced her to retire.
7 Eyewitness News anchor reporter Ed Ranch sat down with the justice to take a look back at a career that has touched so many lives.
From behind her desk, Justice Penny Wolfgang presides over a showcase of her decades-long career, pictured with a former president, a former governor, a big city mayor. But all of this is no more. The day before Christmas Eve, Wolfgang left her office and retired from the state Supreme Court.
If these walls could speak, what would they say?
Probably that I've been fantastically fortunate to have such an amazing, rewarding career.
Just follow these rules.
A career that's not ending by choice. The state mandates retirement of Supreme Court judges at 70 years old. Voters rejected any change years back.
Do you think that should still be in place?
1,000 absolutely %. No, no, no. I'm glad you asked me that. It is ridiculous that to have a mandatory retirement age, and I'm very, I feel really bad and really upset that I have to when I'm not ready, and I feel like I still have a lot to contribute.
Walking away isn't easy after 30 years on the state bench, but she's proud of her accomplishments, having also served as a county judge, setting out from the start to make a difference, especially as a woman in a male-dominated field.
I had to struggle and work so hard. I wouldn't want people to think that it was just handed to me, and I feel like it was worthwhile in the end, and I think it led to the acceptance of women, that they can be strong leaders, that they can be fair and impartial judges, which I hope I've been, that they can be strong when they have to be.
Strength came at sentencing inside Wolfgang's state courtroom, professional strength, and of those who testified.
I really was influenced in almost all my sentencing by victim impact statements, by victims talking in court.
Last year, Erica Webster told Wolfgang about her fiancé, Bill Sager, pushed down a flight of stairs inside Molly's pub by the bar manager, leading to Sager's death.
I became a widow at 27 years old because of the actions of another.
It was Wolfgang who sentenced the bar manager, Jeffrey Basil, to 18 years in state prison for manslaughter. Wolfgang called this case legally troubling and upsetting.
It just happened in a second, you know, and it can change your whole life.
How do you personally cope with the feeling of listening to this gruesome testimony at times? How do you deal with that?
It's really a matter, I think, of training, which and experience. But I found that after a certain period of time, I'm able to separate what happens in my professional life, fortunately, and what happens in my personal life.
There was no training for what was to happen months before retirement, with the loss of her closest confidant, her husband of 51 years, Michael Wolfgang. The two married right out of law school.
He was my advisor, my best friend. He understood politics. He had lived here his whole life, so he had a lot of roots and so actually, he's really responsible for my entire career.
A career that started in the late 1960s as a public defender has evolved into the servant Justice Penny Wolfgang has become, and the job she leaves having left her mark.
Don't think a forced retirement will slow down Justice Wolfgang. She tells me she'll continue working in the system as a hearing officer type judge. She'll also work on several committees serving Western New York and will make women's rights a top priority in her retirement. Ed Ranch, 7 Eyewitness News.